So about this here, this is a good one. This is going to be a very good one. Now remember, they have unfortunately prefaced this whole bill in Florida as the "Don't Say Gay" bill. This is what the authoritarian left and that's what they rolled out to their non-playable characters, and this is what everybody's been repeating. The other side said, "Well, no, this is an anti-grooming bill. It doesn't even directly address specific sexualities." It just was weird, and it almost as if they're telling on themselves when they say, "What do you mean? How's it against gay people?" when it doesn't even say anything about gay, and the law would apply whether it be straight or gay. Interesting how that works. However, they're taking it to mean what they want it to mean because, well, they've been using the public education system as a means to validate themselves. This is one of the most criminal things that has happened out of all of these different alphabet movements that have taken place is that they adults wasn't enough. Now they need the children to validate themselves and their existence. And they don't really exist to preserve the innocence, be a teacher or parent or even whatever of the child, because at that point it's about validating where they stand social politically. So there's this teacher apparently that MSNBC was talking about. Now they think this is like an own of sort, and this is like one of those, well, see, it's bad, but we're gonna listen. I'm gonna comment on it, but we're gonna listen to what the motherfucker had to say, and let's just listen in. Just listen in.
Yeah, it's twofold. It really hits hard in my heart professionally and personally, both. Professionally, it truly makes me feel like I am not trusted as a professional. I know my kindergarten standards through and through, and nowhere in our curriculum does it have anything about teaching sexual orientation or sexual identity.
Okay, so keep that in mind. What the fuck you bitching about then? If that were to be true, now my solution is that all public schools be eliminated. I want to set the scene for that, because I think this whole conversation is fucking retarded, and the fact that there still exists this archaic ass system is one thing. But okay, so he is saying that the curriculum at no point required them to teach sexual orientation. So if, let's say, the bill does not allow you to do that, then there would be no alteration to what it is that you're doing. Am I wrong there? In the words of Walter from The Big Lebowski, am I wrong?
So for them to say that's happening, it's kind of crazy. But we should be able to have discussions, and that's what we're encouraged to do in kindergarten. And then personally, because my kids do have questions. They want to know who my partner is in pictures outside of my classroom, and I should be able to speak.
All right, so I'm gonna rewind this a little bit. This is where it really starts to sound fucking bad. Okay, rewind it just a little bit, but it starts to sound real bad. Before I give my commentary, listen in on this.
Outside of my classroom, and I should be able to speak to that.
So do you worry that you won't even be able to talk about your own personal home life? I mean, I have a child in kindergarten right now. I know exactly that my child has two teachers, one of which has a daughter at home and is single. The other is married and has 4 children. I know everything about their lives because my kid tells me.
Absolutely.
And apparently she doesn't find it weird that she knows all of this shit.
You are 100% correct. That's what we do as educators. We build relationships with our kids.
That's no. All right. While I will understand that being let's say, an educator has a level of trust, right? That you are not feeding this person bad information. Your job, though, isn't to just for the relationship in itself to exist. That's not what it's a service at the end of the day. And unfortunately, these people don't want that, right? They don't look at it like, okay, I am providing a service. They look at it like this is my entire identity. And unfortunately, really, this is the cultural aspect of what Americanism, and maybe it happens in other countries, I can't speak to it, but certainly how they have like really put this industry, which is all that it is. It's a racket, albeit, but it's an industry that props up these teachers as if they are more than simply people that provide a service, which that's really all that you are. You can be upset. You go, oh, I care so much about these. You are a service provider. Your job is to educate. That ultimately is your job. It's not, you're not there for the fucking relationships. Yes, you can enjoy your job and all of that 100%, but that's not why you're there. That's not why you're there.
And in order to build relationships, you talk about your home life. You talk about what you do.
No. Time out, goddammit. Time the fuck out. No. That is not, that's not what you're there for, man. You're not, the fact that he's leading with this information is not what you're there for. That is not what one is interested in. That's not what you're there for. To sit up here and tell people and instruct, you're there to instruct, but not on your personal shit. That's not why you're there. They got moms, they got dads, and again, I understand. You have certain interests. But we ain't talking about you shooting basketball or something like that. Or you being a track runner at some point. Like that's, like your sexuality and what you do at home is your business. The children that you're educating don't even need to be aware of that.
On the weekends, that's building community. It scares me to death that I am not going to be able to have these conversations with my children.
That is so bizarre, bro. This guy he's talking about scared. He's scared that he cannot tell his children, or he feels like he cannot be telling. First of all, they're not his children. Let me almost accept the enemy's verbiage here. No, they're not your children. You're there to educate. You're there to educate, and that's it. But the fact that you think that there's some sort of threat because you can't be talking to these kids who ain't yours about your sexuality is fucking bizarre. Maybe they don't like the term groomer. Maybe it's because it's accurate. I don't know.
Because they're going to ask me what I did on the weekend. I don't want to have to hide that my partner and I went paddleboarding this weekend. Because then they ask, well, what does partner mean, Mr. Bernard? And
why are you talking to these kids? Bro, this is a kindergarten teacher. Why are you talking about your partners with your kindergarten teachers? You're a kindergarten teacher. These are kindergarten students. Why are you talking to them about your partner? This shit is fucking weird. And what it does is it shows you, it taps you in the mind of what these people had been doing before. Give a fuck about my. Let me finish this before I say my bit about public schools. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm worried. Can I tell them what it means? I'm also worried for my kids. I have a little girl this year who has two moms, and the kids are curious about her two moms. They want to know about her two moms. If they go to her and ask her about her two moms and she doesn't know what to say, they're going to come to me and ask me. And then, so what do I do? It opens up.
It's easy. You say none of your goddamn business. And obviously you don't word it that way, but if they are so curious about, again, I don't think that I do know that children are curious about certain things, and they are some of them just have fucking no filter and they ask whatever bizarre questions. I don't think that it's happening to the degree that it's worth mentioning, but it's nothing for you to say that's not appropriate to have that conversation. Ask your mama, ask your pops, or something of that nature. It ain't your job to be sitting here. If it's that touchy of a subject, it ain't your job to be playing some sort of role where that information has to be funneled through you. Ask your parents. Simple. Well, that's what you say. The fact that you think that that's some sort of bizarre thing to tell your child tell a child that isn't yours, but that you're teaching is fucking weird, man.
For parents to really take some legal action against the schools and teachers and.
All right, so it stopped there. And that was it didn't cut out because I edited it up. That was what what she posted here. Now, what I will say is this. You need to get your children the fuck out of public schools, man. And I don't care where you live. It's roughly a lot of the same. You have to understand who these people are. If you look at the trajectory of like college, this guy's probably my age. And even like on my way out, it was starting to get weird, but it got really weird on my way out. I'm not that far removed. My last year was 2013, 2014. So I'm not even that far removed. All these knucklehead, blue-haired weirdos have become teachers. Those that authorize that have become administrators. Okay? And this is why you should get your children the fuck out of there. While I totally understand that you guys go scream at the school board and, you know, you're frustrated, you feel like this is what you have to do. No, you don't. What I do believe was the silver lining with the COVID situation is that people realize not only the education system, public education system for what it is, but also understood now that homeschooling and other options, whether it be co-ops, whether it be in the private school sector, that they're not as expensive as what they were told. I think that the status quo needed to be protected. I also think that this was on purpose, right? Even when I was growing up, right, they demonized homeschool. The private school kids were weird. Like, this is stuff that they pumped into your head so they could have access to your children and future generations. Now more people that looked into it realize, oh, I don't have to be rich to be able to, for my child to be alternatively educated. Again, the system in itself, this K through 12 system, especially in the technological age, is archaic as I don't know what anyway. It's largely a waste of fucking time for many of the students that are going to be there, and they're getting lessons upon things that they're never going to be fucking interested in, that they don't want to be interested in. Really, all public school in terms of K through 12 has been one way to funnel people through, or funnel people to, what is deemed as the advanced indoctrination in public, or rather universities. Okay, so that's really all that it's designed to do. Nowadays, hell, a lot of these youngsters don't even know there's an option outside of college. They have no idea, because it's not like they're being told that. Hey, I remember that. Tell the story all the time. I remember that, you know, when I was young, when I was at third grade, when my teacher told me if I didn't go to college, I would be a garbage man. I had to go settle for being a garbage man. She fucking failed to mention, and I didn't even find this out until I was an adult, failed to mention that the garbage man made more money than her. Get your children the fuck out of these the fuck out of these schools. This is just one reason. But there's a mountain, we've covered them on this channel, a mountain of reasons for why you probably should not be giving your children off to the state. I get it, it's free, right? Your taxes pay for it. So you look at it like, well, I'm gonna drop my child off for 8 hours a day, talk to him 15 minutes afterwards at a little dinner or something, and think that you can overdo or outpace that education, I'll use that loosely, that they are getting in the schools. No, you can't. This is why a lot of these, they come from libertarian or conservative parents that are tossing bricks in front of Starbucks with their little blue hair. Who you think made them that way? Get them out. Get them out. Get them out. This whole, and it sucks that the iron was hot. And I feel like people aren't striking as much when they found out what was going on with the school system, these teachers unions and everything with the COVID shit. And instead of pivoting on public education and calling really for its elimination, you keep the money, you decide where your child go to school. And actually what happens is we ain't talking about taxpayer funded teachers and administrators. We're talking about markets. We're talking about marketized education system that's completely fucking marketized. That doesn't mean that every single one is going to cost money. Some of them inevitably will be free, but you have options. Not only do you have options, you decide where your fucking dollar is going for those of you that are net taxpayers. And they're terrified of that. It ain't just because of the money. Because, all of these worthless teachers would be out of a fucking jobs. The one that are worth the goddamn would have no issues in a completely marketized educational system. They'd have no issues getting work. What they're really scared of is that they don't have access to your children. You wonder why. Let me ask you this, actually. Of course, I know the answer. It's a bit rhetorical. When anything is threatening the state, whether it be to eliminate something, remove something, whether it be to privatize, which is what it is that we're looking at, something. Who is it that the state rolls out first as a means to say that this cannot be done or should not be done? It's the educators. It's the academics. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.